329. You know what that is? That's the credit score increase that I got this client in just 90 days. Now, you're going to see for yourself. Take a look at April 2nd. They had scores of 399, 390, and 387 with over $400,000 in debt. But report number 2 from May 7th shows 525, 550, and 516 credit scores with just over $100,000 in debt. Now, report number 3 from June 10th shows 720, 703, and 716 credit scores with just under $40,000 in debt. That's 329 points on Equifax, 313 on Experian, and 321 on TransUnion. Now, did we do this with magic? No. You see, regular credit repair uses templates that don't satisfy the actual reason for removal, while a sweep targets the facts reported directly by the bureaus, creditors, and collectors, and that is what results in removals, because we're dealing with actual evidence. So if you want results, don't use. If I told you that I had a client that jumped 304 points in just 60 days, you wouldn't believe me unless I showed you, right? So that is exactly what we're doing. We are logged in to Identity IQ, and you can see on 9/26, this client had a 406 on TransUnion, a 416 on Experian, and a 398 on Equifax. Yet on 10/26, and that is the credit report that I'm going to show you in just a second, they jumped into the 500s. So when people ask me, do credit sweeps work? Yes, when they are legal. They are not the identity theft method. We are not disputing online. We are not using templates. We are using factual based disputes, and that is what I show you in my hundreds of videos. Now, take a look at 10/26. We have a 542 on TransUnion, not that bad, a 543 on Experian, and a 545 on Equifax. Now, if that's not enough, now when we go to 11/26, we have a 663 on TransUnion, a 650 on Experian, and a 702 on Equifax. Can you believe that? That's crazy, right? That is absolutely insane, because what that means is it's a 257 point increase on TransUnion, right? That's psycho. 234 points on Experian, and a grand old 304 on Equifax, okay? So again, when you ask if this were today, I'm sharing with you a client who went from a 405 credit score to a 671 in just 60 days, and we're actually logged into Identity IQ. It's not just some screenshots. So I'm showing you on round 1, we went up 200 points on TransUnion, 199 on Experian, and 258 on Equifax. And yeah, we got some great stuff on round 2, but nothing like this. Okay, so in 2 rounds of disputes, we went up 216 on TransUnion, 214 on Experian, 266 on Equifax. So take a look at report number 1. They signed up on 422. The report is from 424, and TransUnion was 462, Experian 439, and Equifax a grand O 405. However, when you look at report number 2 from 527, we have a 662 on TransUnion, a 638 on Experian, and a 663 on Equifax. Now, report number 3, which is from July 17th, it is only dated July 17th because they didn't pay Identity IQ, so we couldn't get our scores before that. Now, TransUnion is 678, Experian 653, and Equifax is 671. Now, all of this is without using templates, without online disputes, without CFPB complaints, and without creditor or collector. Today I'm sharing with you a client who went from a 501 to a 635 in just 60 days in 1 round of disputes. So he gained 134 points on TransUnion, 123 on Experian, and 120 on Equifax. And if you want to learn how to fix your credit yourself using factual-based disputes, make sure that you subscribe so that you don't miss all things credit. So here we go. We are logged into Identity IQ, and we're looking at report number 1 from April 1st of 2021. And we have a 501 on TransUnion, a 510 on Experian, and a 513 on Equifax. And I am obviously scrolling so that you can see we are actually inside of Identity IQ and looking at his credit report. Now, here is report number 2 from today, June 8th, 2021. And we have a 635 on TransUnion, a 633 on Experian, and a 633 on Equifax. And again, here is the total credit report. All right, so that's it, just these 2 reports. So again, in 60 days we have 134 points on TransUnion, 123 on Experian, and 120 on Equifax. All right, so in reality, this is only one round at 45 days because we did collectors first and then 15 days later disputed with the bureaus for a total of 60 days. So in other words, this client gained over 100 points with just one letter sent to the credit bureaus. Now, how did we do that? Was it magic? No, this client went from a 526 to a 720 in just 90 days. That's a 194 point increase, and we removed a foreclosure, a new repossession, 2 credit card charge-offs, and 3 student loans. Take a look at report number 1 from April 10th. We have a 526 on TransUnion, a 613 on Experian, and a 587 on Equifax. For report number 2 from the 23rd of May, we have a 623 on TransUnion, 652 on Experian, and 670 on Equifax. And report number 3 from the 23rd of June, we have 720 on TransUnion, 716 on Experian, and a 730 on Equifax. So TransUnion went from a 526 to a 720, 713 to a 716 on Experian, and 587 to 730 on Equifax. That's 194 points on TransUnion, 103 on Experian, and 143 points on Equifax. This client got a 325-point credit score increase, as well as the removal of $377,391 in just 90 days. Now, you don't have to believe me because I'm about to show you not just the screenshots from the software, but the actual credit reports, round 1, round 2, and round 3, in addition to the deletions. Well, 1 of 4 pages of deletions. Now, as a side note, if this is something that you want to continue doing yourself, then that's totally awesome. Go down into the description and you're going to find the link to get to the free subscriber hub. On the subscriber hub, you're going to be able to access a ton of awesome modules that are going to help you to learn factual based disputes. All right. So if you are trying to figure out how to do factual-based disputes, raise your credit score, fix your credit, all of that, then make sure that you subscribe so that you don't miss out on all things credit, all right? So we are jumping right into this, and we're going to start with the scores. So on TransUnion, we started with a 397, Experian was a 405, and Equifax was a 401. We jumped 325 points on TransUnion, 311 on Experian, and 295 on Equifax. And then this is just one of 4 pages of deletions, and we're talking about 300,000 plus per bureau in the removal of negative debt. Now, here is round 1. Like I said, 397, 405, and 401 credit scores, and you can see the actual debt listed down in this bottom table. And then round 2, we have 602, 595, and 606. And again, we have the debt listed down at the bottom. All right, we're like 1/3 of the way there. And here we go with round number 3. We have 722, 716, and 696. So these numbers do not. Just 45 days with 1 letter to the bureaus and 1 letter to the creditors and collectors. This client jumped 192 points, and I'm going to show you report 1, report 2, and the letter to Equifax. Now, this client signed up on 5/29. The report date is 5/31. TransUnion is 499. Experian is 497, and Equifax is 490. Now, report number 2 from today, August 1st, TransUnion is 681, Experian 671, and Equifax 682. That is a grand total of 182 points on TransUnion, 172 points on Experian, and 192 points on Equifax. Now, this is the letter that I sent out, and this is to Equifax. I did redact the client information, and as you can see, it's very simple. First, date of delinquency is wrong. There's the facts. You didn't provide anything, and you don't have anything that shows a, physical signature on it. You need to remove this. Here's the dates for the, date of last activity, date of first delinquency, the bankruptcy has the wrong court date. So as you can see, this is very, very simple. There's no fillers. There's no nothing. And this is why it works. Okay. As you can see, my first paragraph literally just says these accounts are inaccurate and need to be removed. There's nothing special, but this is why it works. It is simple. It is targeted, to the point, no laws, no fillers, all facts, and all of my arguments are backed by. If I just told you I got this client 310 points in just 60 days, you wouldn't believe me, right? So guess what? We're logged into Identity IQ, and I'm showing you because I don't need to just take a screenshot that doesn't belong to me from the internet somewhere like everybody else. No, we are logged into Identity IQ. Look at this. I'm going to make it bigger for you. Here we go. TransUnion on 5/6/2021. We have 550 on TransUnion, 470 on Experian, and 485 on Equifax. Yes, this is a real credit report, and guess what? I'm going to show you what happened 60 days later. You see, there's always going to be haters and trolls out there, and there always has been ever since I got here 6 years ago on YouTube and started my journey with the 530 plus videos that I have. But I don't need to just show you some screenshot. No. Look at that. 7/30/2021. We are inside of Identity IQ. Look at these beauties right here. Oh, look at that. TransUnion 755. Experian 780. That's 310 points. Equifax 754. That's 269 points. All right. Men lie. Women lie, but numbers don't lie. So haters can hate, people can say what they want, but my numbers say. Today we are going over this super simple letter that I used to remove $17,631 in 30 days, in addition to getting this client 94 points on Equifax, 129 points on Experian, and 72 points on TransUnion. And we also removed NFCU, Credit One, U.S. Department of Vets, and Southwest Credit Systems. Now, the letter that I'm going to show you is super simple, and you can find the Agero formula down in the description. But the letter is so simple to use, anyone can do it, even if you've tried before and has come back as verified. Now, if you look at these accounts, the first two accounts are NFCU, and we go after the balance on account number one because TransUnion shows 0 while the other two have different balances. Obviously, if it's 0, it means that the account was paid, right? Even though it wasn't, we're still using this to get our deletion because it's inaccurate. On the second one, we're going after the date last active, and TransUnion shows 2020, which means that this account was actually re-aged. And even if it wasn't, that's still 3 different years. With Credit One, we're going after a monthly payment of $427 because number one, the account is paid, and number two, it's a charge off. And then on U.S. Department of Vets, we're going after multiple late payments after the account was closed and charged off, which obviously shouldn't be there. And then the last one's very straightforward. Southwest Credit, you don't have a signed contract, so you need to delete it. Now, if you noticed, this is not a template. It's 100% custom, 100% factual, and extremely. I told you I removed hundreds of accounts from someone's credit report. You probably wouldn't believe me, right? So I'm going to show you. You see, over here on the right-hand side of the screen, we have all of our deletions. And guess what? It wasn't overnight. You can see that some of them were verified with no change. But guess what? I'm going to show you the end result, which you can see on the left-hand side of your screen after we go through all these deletions. We have collections, charge-off, repossession. We have a bankruptcy listed on all 3 bureaus. We have hundreds of medical accounts, okay? So, again, was this overnight? No, it wasn't. But in the end, not only was the bankruptcy removed from all 3 bureaus, not only was the judgment removed from 2 bureaus, and not only was the repossession removed from all 3 bureaus, but this is where the credit report begins. You can see there's nothing on there. And this is also where it ends. See, it says begin credit report, end of investigation results, end of credit report. So now the next step for this client is obviously building their credit, which they're already in my credit building program, and building their score right after that. But if you're wondering how this was done, I'm going to tell you a little bit of a secret. It was not done with templates. I posted this video one day ago showing where I removed over 400 negative items from just one client's credit report. And obviously I had a ton of questions that came in asking me how I did this. And so I'm going to answer those questions in this video. But if you didn't see that, this is where I removed 150 negative items from just one client's report on all 3 bureaus, which is 450 negative items. And this is just one round of disputes that came back. Obviously, you can see some of them say verified, no change, verified, no change, verified, no change. So then how do you know? How do you know that I removed all of these negative items from all 3 bureaus? Well, take a look at this report over here on the left, and I did show this in that video. You can see it says for TransUnion results, it says Chapter 7 bankruptcy discharged, deleted, right? Take a look at the second page. It says begin credit report, end of investigation results, end of credit report. What does that mean? Well, that means this is where the report begins and this is where the report ends, which means that there's absolutely nothing on it. So obviously, all these negative items that are still showing as new information below, verified, no change, verified, no change, verified, no change, verified, no change, they're all gone. The collections, the charge-offs, the repossession, the judgment, the bankruptcy listed on all 3 bureaus, every single negative item of those 450 negative items are gone. Now, how did I do that? That is the question that we are answering, right? I had so many people. I could literally show you not just comments that I manually go through, but I had emails, I had texts, I had all sorts of stuff. How did you do this? Well, it's actually no secret. Now, I'm going to post the link to this down in the description, but if you go to this link that I'm putting on there, or go to vault.my740.com and click on Deep Dive Dispute Workshop, I show you how I do this. There's actually the workshop information and materials, the workshop Q&A. There's a workshop part 1 recording, summary notes, dispute letter guide, try and learn activity, funnel and flow training, deep dive workshop instructions, and unadvertised bonuses. There's so much in here, and I show you how to dispute rounds 1 through 6, how to follow up with the credit bureaus, whether you should be taking all the information from the credit report or from the responses in the mail, what to do if you do not receive responses, what to do if none of the information changes on the credit report, what to do if something is deleted then reinserted back to the report, how to dispute multiple negative items at once on the same dispute letter, the exact wording that should go in your dispute letter, and what to do if the accounts are not coming off, and more. And specifically, how to dispute very certain, specific items like charge-offs and collections. And you also receive actionable advice and receive the following: a dispute planner, step-by-step instructions, a recording of the live workshop, and the video notes, okay? And let's just break this down in plain English. For the medical accounts, I'm going to see if I can make this just a little bit bigger. For the medical accounts, I used the validation of debt letter series. There's 4 in this series. I only used 3 of the letters. So letter 4 is actually where you sue. I did not do that. Okay. I never do. So we use letters 1, 2, and 3. And we also disputed with the bureaus specifically for medical. Okay. So round 1 was collectors only for medical. And then rounds 2 and 3 were bureau and collector, and round 4 was bureau only. Okay. So I didn't want to confuse you on that. All right. So round 1, collector only, round 4, bureau only, and round 2 and 3, bureaus and collectors. Okay. So for the bankruptcy, this was a factual dispute with the bureaus only. $66,837. Do you know what that is? That's the amount of debt, negative debt, that I removed from this client's credit report on his May 2nd update in just 1 round. Now, does that mean that this was his only round that I did? No, we did 3 rounds in total. And in those 3 rounds in total, all of his deletions, everything except for 3, came on this last round. So he allowed me to do what I do best to get him his results. And not only did he go and get $66,837 removed from his credit report in negative debt, but he also went 26-point increase on Equifax, 94-point increase on Experian, and 121-point increase on TransUnion. Now, I'm not just going to show you screenshots. We're actually going to look at the screenshots from my actual portal that shows you his scores, but we're also going to look at his credit reports. So take a look at your screen. So his scores on February 3rd were 514 on Equifax, 533 on Experian, and 496 on TransUnion. However, on March 19th, they were 508, 534, and 494. And lastly, on May 2nd, they were 540, 627, and 617. He went from a 496 to a 617 for a 121-point increase on TransUnion, just like I said. Now, as far as those deletions, let's take a look at those. So, I didn't tell you the number of deletions, but obviously you can see there are a lot of them. And some of them, actually like 3 or 4 of them or whatever, had 0 balance, right? So those were just negative accounts that needed to be removed from the credit report, even though they had been paid. So it was a total of $66,837. Now, if we take a look at the actual reports, on Report 1, you'll see that, and these are not just negative accounts, these are his total accounts. We had 22 on one bureau, 26 on the other, and 25. And if you take a look at the scores, you're going to see the exact same ones that I gave you. However, on Report 2 on March 19th, now we only have 20, 24, and 22. And take a look at this last one. May 2nd, we only have 13, 20, and 15. So as you can see, we have a crap load of negative debt coming off and negative items. We have our scores going up. And how did we do this? Did we do this with law-heavy templates? Did we do this by disputing online? Did we do this on the phone? Well, how did we do this? Did we say it was identity theft? No. We did this
Hey guys, I am going to show you some super results today because a lot of you don't believe that very difficult negative items can be removed. And it can, because what if I showed you it was possible to get off any negative item? Wouldn't you be signing up right now? All right, so look at this: charge-offs, foreclosures, collections, debt buyers, regular collections. All right, so it can be done. It is done. I do it every single day. Look at these score boosts. All right, we have 45 points on Equifax, 50 points on Experian, 18 points on TransUnion. All right, you can get your score up. You can get your negative items off. All right, so I give proof, same day start, everything disputed, transparency, no templates. All right, so I'm going to put the link down in the description. You can check this out yourself. All right, so if you want help, all you have to do is click on the link and get signed up. Now, what I'm also going to show you right now is where this client started and where they are right now. Okay, so look at this. Look down where it says, or it's highlighted, derogatory collection balances. We have 18 on TransUnion, 17 on Experian, 19 on Equifax. Check this out. We have 6 on TransUnion, 2 on Experian, and only 3 on Equifax. Now check out the balances. 77,000 went down to 9,000. 81,000 went down to 2,000. 81,000 went down to 8,000. All right, so yes, this can be done. All right, so if you want to get there and you want to do it legally, then